Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say, make we off mind. But thank God say, my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My ego die the politico. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. This one not day off in mind. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Aha. Now you not done here. All these bad politicians, then we call themselves politicians. When they thief our money, we no want make the common man get waiting supposed get for this country. Una never hear something. Now go hear one. Mayegun, you go show na paper. Mayegun diary political. So my people make you shout. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make we laugh. Oh, yo. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube, gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you're watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary Godfatherism. Kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun diary.
Share this broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends and tell them that Mayegun today, yes.
Ani esunraki Mayegun today.
If you read the caption of the broadcast, I have a few things I'm going to share with you again tonight. And I think we should start from the statement of Shetima, where Shetima said in one of the moments when truth been said, but you could be, or your attention could be diverted from it. But you should never lose your gaze on the truth. The truth here is that when Shetima speak, please listen. Oh, don't laugh. Oh, don't call him whatever you probably want to call him. Just listen and pay attention to the message in them. Now, the last time he said that his boss, Tinubu, when they become the presidents and vice presidents of Nigeria, that he will be handling the security, vice president. But I mean, Tinubu will be handling economy, just like a turntable. So people who actually understood that, they fired back. Really? Is that the plan? To turn, whatever. The new one he just said is that Nigerians, You, one Nigerianist, though, I'm talking to you. Nigerians, that you deserve a president like that is ruthless, like Abacha, Sani Abacha, and very, very committed. I don't know what Bokwari is committed to, but very, very committed, like Bokwari. I have said it many times on my Egun's Diary Political that if you check Nigeria very well, it is not really that hard to understand the diverse biases among different people in Nigeria, especially if they are one Nigerianist for real. Now, one thing is that in Nigeria, no matter what things you have heard about Nigeria, okay, or all this sad news you've heard, in Nigeria, Nigerians don't hate those things per se. They just don't like them if those things, okay, let me put it this way. When you talk about corruption, when you talk about corrupt criminals in charge of, criminals who have amassed their wealth in a very, very questionable way and all that, in Nigeria, every bad thing that you see them support is because they don't really hate those things. Okay? If you talk about corruption, right? They don't really hate that corruption per se. They just don't like it if they are not the ones benefiting from that corruption. Therefore, if you meet Nigerians and if you have been in their spaces very well, you will realize that they love their criminals, their oppressors, be it religious or be it political or be it tribal, whatever it is. So they love their criminals differently. You can pick a space for yourself, whichever place you belong to. So Shetima said, for Nigerians to be disciplined, they need a president like that is ruthless, like Abacha. Abacha was a thief, a kleptomaniac, a murderer, a genocidist himself, a top terrorist. That if you can say, if terrorism is not being rewarded in Nigeria, Abacha will be in that book. Or if Abacha was to be alive, it will be in the category of Babangida, Abdul Salami. They will call him elder statesman. Nobody will touch all the money they are returning today. But guess what? As worse as you can see Abacha was, listen to me, he is a role model to the likes of Shetima and maybe millions like that in northern Nigeria. So when you are condemning Abacha, speaking blah, 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 you better watch your mouth, because your best pals in your charade called election may actually be a hero worshipper of Abacha. Now, let me just bring something back, a memory, the character Abacha that you probably will need in charge of Nigeria. Then you need the commitment of Bokwari. We'll come back to that one. Abacha, the day Abacha took over government of Nigeria. Just a reminder.
Sequel to the resignation of the former head of the interim national government and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Chief Ernest Shonekan, and my subsequent appointment as Head of State and Commander-in-Chief, I have had extensive consultations within the Armed Forces hierarchy and other well-meaning Nigerians in a bid to find solutions to the various political, economic, and social problems which have engulfed our beloved country and which have made life most difficult to the ordinary citizens of this nation. Chief Ernest Shonekan took over as Head of State and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces at the most trying time in the history of our country. Politically, economically, and socially, there were lots of uncertainties. Things appeared bleak, and the atmosphere was heavy with uncertainties. However, driven by the belief in himself, his countrymen, and love for his country, he accepted to face the challenges of our time. I will therefore like to take this opportunity to pay tribute to him for his selfless service to the nation. He showed great courage at taking on the daunting task of heading the interim national government even a greater courage to know when to leave. Many have expressed fears about the apparent return of the military. Many have talked about the concern of the international community. However, under the present circumstances, the survival of our beloved country is far above any other consideration. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must therefore solve our problems ourselves. We must lay a very solid foundation for the growth of true democracy. We should avoid any ad hoc or temporary solutions. The problems must be addressed firmly, objectively, decisively, and with all sincerity of purpose. Consequently, the following decisions come into immediate effect. The interim national government is hereby dissolved. The national and state assemblies are also dissolved. The state executive councils are dissolved. The brigade commanders are to take over from the governors in their states until administrators are appointed. Where there are no brigade commanders, the commissioners of police in the states are to take over. All local governments stand dissolved. The directors of personnel are to take over the administration of the local governments until administrators are appointed. The National Electoral Commission is hereby dissolved. All former secretaries to federal ministries are to hand over to their director generals until ministers are appointed. The two political parties are hereby dissolved. All processions, political meetings and associations of any type in any part of the country are hereby banned. Any consultative committee, by whatever name called, is hereby proscribed. Decree 61 of 1993 is hereby abrogated. A provisional ruling council is hereby established. It will comprise the head of state, commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as chairman, the chief of general staff as vice chairman, the honorable minister of defense, the chief of defense staff, service chiefs, the inspector general of police, the attorney general and minister of justice, the internal affairs minister, the foreign affairs minister, and the national security advisor. Legislative powers will reside in the council. States will be governed by civilian administrators to be appointed later. Also, a federal executive council will be put in place. Our security system will be enhanced to ensure that lives of citizens, property of individuals are protected and preserved. Drugs trafficking and other economic crimes such as 419 must be tackled and eliminated. On the current strikes throughout the nation, following the increase in the price of fuel, I appeal to all the trade unions to return to work immediately. We cannot afford further dislocation and destruction of our economy. On the closed media houses, the government is hereby lifting the order of proscription with immediate effect. We, however, appeal to the media houses that in this spirit of national reconciliation, we should show more restraint and build a united and peaceful Nigeria. Fellow Nigerians, the events of the past month, starting from the annulment of the June 12 presidential election, culminating in the appointment of the former head of state, Chief Abacha, are well known to you. The economic downturn has undoubtedly been aggravated by the ongoing political crisis. We require a well thought out and permanent solution to these problems if we are to emerge stronger from them. Consequently, a constitutional conference with full constitutional powers will be established soon to determine the future constitutional structure of Nigeria. The Constitutional Conference will also recommend the method of forming parties, which will lead to the ultimate recognition of political parties formed by the people. While the conference is on, the reorganization and reform of the following major institutions will be carried out: the military, the police, the customs, the judiciary, NITEL, NNPC, NEPA, the banking industry, and our higher institutions of learning. This regime will be firm, humane, and decisive. We will not condone nor tolerate any act of indiscipline. Any attempt to test our will be decisively dealt with. For the international community, we ask that you suspend judgment while we grapple with the onerous task of nation building, reconciliation.
Abacha. That was what many millions of people woke up to. When was that again? Was it November or December? Okay, I think it was November 1993. Was it? I don't even remember. But who cares anyway? Everybody woke up to that martial sound, gang, 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 and this guy popped up on our screens. We were so small then. Fast forward to after that speech, fast forward to 10 years later, 2003, they started recovering the stolen money from that man. After that speech. After that speech, tens of thousands of people disappeared. They were never found. Dead, missing, what they never found. When they opened up different prisons all over Nigeria, more than 20,000 people, including journalists, some of them forgotten. They were picked up. There was no social media then. Oh. They were picked up for whatever this, including people who just had conversation in the corner of their streets. They would just be waylaid, boom, disappeared. Many people gone missing. Many people disappeared to exile. In fact, it was because of this man, Abacha, that Tinubu became a friend of the NADECO. They started NADECO because of that man. And they were called, I think they were called the National Democratic Coalition, championed by the Yorubas and the Midwesterns then, Kokori and Co. Tinubu joined in exile to continue to pressure the rest of the world. Why Abacha? But guess what? Now they are telling you that, don't worry, you are going to have Abacha, Bokuwari in one. That was one of the things Tinubu did. That, you see, for those who have what Yoruba call Arujinle, Uripipe, those of you who have Uripipe, and for those of you who have what do you call it, Torinyope, but Arujinle, this is where it comes from. The characters that ensured that the terrorism of Abacha were felt more by the Yorubas at the time. One of them, the prominent among them was Bokuwari. In fact, it was one of the reasons why Tinubu continued to disparage Bokuwari until 2012, when they started building alliance to form this unholy union that they called APC, Egbekegbe. The people that jailed Yoruba political leaders at the time, jailed the Yorubas, exiled many of them, killed as many as possible, and at the same time, because of his own greed and selfishness, he became friends with them to bring them back to power. That was what brought Bokuwari back. So once Bokuwari came back, all Abacha's henchmen, they came back. And today, Abacha is a role model. So let's put it this way, Abacha's role model, or somebody who sees Abacha as a role model, is going to be your vice president. There's something I posted on Mayegun's Diary Politico this afternoon. And then underneath it, I was like, Omo, there was this guy. That guy looked so much like Peter Obi, right? And I was like, Omo, no way. Well, I'm seeing that for the first time. There are people who probably have seen that many times. So then I dropped a comment. I said, Omo, if Peter Obi was the president of Nigeria, and they need the body double, like Americans, they watch American movies and others, about the body double, so that when the world leader or president, if you don't want the president to be everywhere and all that, you can have a body double that's just going to represent and all that stuff, yeah? So I was like, Omo, if Peter Obi happened to be the president of Nigeria, that guy don't get job for the next, how many years? 4 years or 8 years, Abi? As a double, Guess what? From nowhere, typical Nigerians who have been coming here on Mayegun's Diary Politico, who have been laughing, doing ha 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 ha, when I say Tifnumbu, when I say Bokuwari, when I talk about all these rogues. And I've told you many times, if you are a one Nigerianist, I don't have much against you. In fact, I don't really have anything against you other than I know wherever you choose, wherever you decide, eventually it's not going to be, the consequences of that is not limited to you, okay? So I'm not really your friend, okay? However, on this platform, usually, when I am talking about APC, you will see these people destroying people, the articulated morons. They will be doing ka. Then, 3 months ago, Obi surfaced and he started shaking everywhere. Guess what? Now, just before them, when I'm talking about the Atiku and their gang, you will see the Kolu, Lagos Abobakus. They will be doing ka. They love it. But you see, because we now know who they are, and in category APC, PDP, right? And then Obi. So when I'm talking about these two, many of you, obedient, Abi, you are doing ka here. Do you really think I am actually into any of you at all? I am not. No, I'm not. I can see through the charade, which I preach against. You know that. But one thing I love about you is that I have put everyone in different category, and I'll tell you tonight. I said, press idiot, you they run mind. You they go gaga, they go crazy. I'll tell you why I am not really interested in Obi much when we talk about those who have destroyed Nigeria, okay? If we want to be fair, which I am always trying my own way to be, but I don't want to be politically correct, okay? Now, currently, put it this way, before APC, Egbekegbe came, PDP gave birth to APC, Egbekegbe. They are intertwined. So there's nothing you can say to anyone who has sense, right? That will make them say, oh, I will prefer this. No. If you get sense, you rather stay off, right? Now, then APC, Egbekegbe came. When APC, Egbekegbe came, they made the problem of Nigeria worse. That's a fact, right? And while they were doing it, people destroying people, they were waiting in the wing, right? Because they can't really go after them because they made APC. They are the same, Abi. So I decided that, okay, if you have any problem going on right now, anybody will get sense, you don't have to put that responsibility of solving Nigeria problem on anybody's table right now than the criminals who are there right now getting paid and they are killing people thinking they are doing the best job. Now, the responsibility is on them, that's. But it is a shared responsibility. Without the people destroying people who laid the foundation for this, for the nourishment of this fraud, right? There will be no APC to build on that. Okay? Now you see Obi on his own. I am a Yoruba man. It will be so unjust. And in fact, it will be unfair when people are saying Obi this, Obi that. When I know that for the past 23 years, nobody, no Igbo man or Igbo woman, whether Igbo governor or Igbo senator or Igbo anything, has contributed to the backwardness and the slow development that we are witnessing in Yoruba land today. If there is anyone to condemn Obi for anything, in not genuinity, without projecting your own fear and your madness that you probably just share among yourself. You're not sharing your madness this time, projecting your madness on people, right? If you are not an Igbo man from Anambra, where Obi supervise the fear of millions of people in that place. If you are from that place, if you say Obi is this, is that, Baba, you are right. To me, I'm a Yoruba man, okay? From 1999, all of the governors who have been governors in Yoruba land, they have been Yorubas. All of the House of Representative members who represented Yoruba land since 1999 to date, they have been Yorubas. All of the state assemblies pata in Yoruba land since 1999 to date, they have been Yorubas. Okay? All of those who have become ministers representing Yoruba land in Abuja, they have been Yorubas. All those who have been, what else again? So if I have people to blame for anything that is happening to me, as somebody from that part of Nigeria, I know those to point my fingers at. Obi is not one of them. Do you get that now? But do you see where Tinubu is one of them? Tinubu did not entrench a criminal cabal that has, destroyed that Lagos that you're saying, right? Destroyed beyond anything. And they are even bragging in that shamelessness, Abi. They have extended that same ideology all over Yoruba land. Look at us. From 1999, they have been writing budgets in Yoruba land. Guess who are those who are writing the budget? Yorubas. So that is why I said, now if you have to put it in category by category, you can say APC, Egbekegbe, that has destroyed the economy of Nigeria, destroyed the security architecture of Nigeria, destroyed what else again? Destroy the value, the morality of Nigerians. And Pabambari, now legalized corruption in a way you have never seen before. And right before our eyes, there are people who are bragging that, yes, we did it in 2015. We did it in 2019. So if anybody wants me to be afraid of anyone, I will be afraid of those who have a chance to make my life and the life of everyone in Yoruba land better. But they choose to make their own lives, and the lives of their cronies better. So when they talk about joblessness in Yoruba land today, in Nigeria today, when they are sharing the ratio, we in Yoruba land, we have a army of jobless graduates, unemployable graduates in Yoruba land, courtesy of the rulers and the controllers of a Yoruba land, right? So when it now comes to the people destroying people, like I said before, you can't really blame them for the failure now, but you cannot also spare them of the blame, knowing their history. Because in both sides, where Atifku and others have played, their roles at the national level has contributed to what we are now living today as a people. The divided, vile, hateful Nigeria. That's the truth. So when you are now like Obi, so you see where Obi now came third in the category of people that somebody like me can warn you about. Here is my own warning about Obi, and I've said this many times. Whatever he says, whatever he tells you, you can believe whatever you want to believe, okay? None of them is real. None of them is possible. Because now, you can dream somehow of, I can make Nigeria this or that. That is impossible, because the only way to make Nigeria anything better at all is to respect the territorial integrity of the nations that make up Nigeria. Once you respect that and let people develop according to their own pace, if there's nothing, no template, no workbook for that, anything anybody tells you is just same thing. Politicians, all talks, no action. So Obi is not a big deal to me. In fact, when I see many of them running mad because of you obedience, I kind of feel joy. Because, you see, who will help us kind of traumatize them? Who will help us continue to give them the violence that they believe that they are in control of? You. But that doesn't make me in any way, suddenly started believing that we are all looking for the same thing. I'm not with you. Okay? I can tell there are good things that can be associated with Obi's compared to others. Fine. But in my own book, you obedient. And Obi, you want to keep Nigeria together. Abi? And you, with that idea, you want to build and make everybody live in harmony. Abi? But when they ask you how, explain, you are mostly not even capable to explain how. Because some of you, once you begin to try to make that explanation, you are going to begin to hit the truth that whatever you are planning is never going to work. Okay? Just enjoy the moment. And when I say presidiots of Nigeria, listen to me very well. I am not referring to PDP, APC only. I am referring to anyone from anywhere that become the president of Nigeria. There are two lines. I mean, there are just two words in a sentence. Presidiots, Nigeria. And if that offends you, now you know that I am not actually, when you see me post about, Obi, I've said that many times. When you see me post about Obi, post about this or that, it is just to continue to gauge your different emotional reactions, which has sort of, they are becoming overwhelming these days. But the point here is this, okay? You can continue to be their nemesis, right? But in my book, whoever become the president of Nigeria, in my book, under whatever arrangement that they are pushing, is a president to you, Nigerians. And like I said, you love your oppressors differently, and you can defend them as much as you want. But on this platform, our own stand is not different. I mean, it's not changing. It is the fact that yes, everybody knows Nigeria, I believe. But not everybody is being truthful and honest with the way they indeed analyze Nigeria. Nobody wants to be honest. You are abused. Somebody came there and said that, Mayegun, explain yourself. Why did you say Obi will be a president? I was like, explain myself to who? Then another one came and said that I don't even know why I'm sharing a country with this madman. I said, okay, thank you. I thought this guy has sense. I was like, oh, then you haven't met other people who felt like I didn't have sense because I am talking about their roguish leaders. That sometimes, because it didn't affect you, you are doing ha there all the time. I am not your friend that way. If you are a one Nigerianist, do what you think is right. Whatever you arrive at, now all of us go share them. That is certain. So you are not doing me anything good. You are not, I mean, the other popular thing you do say is that you are trying to rescue Nigeria. Nobody can rescue Nigeria. At the time, you are going to realize that. You're going to stop lying to yourselves, okay? And I hope that you're going to do that soon as well. So you have terrorists, that the monsters that they have created. And today, the monsters, the consequences, which is something we can even pick from that Lagos as well, where the same people that are always going to want to replace or exchange their own life for the lives of the crook who don't even value any one of them's existence in any way. But when they finally get trapped, that's one of the hypocrisy I'm actually talking about. That, when things are not happening to people, then they are not happening. They are like, well, they deserve it or something like that. When people get exploited or extorted by the criminal police and that, or people get killed, then you realize that some people will come on and say, well, maybe they deserve it, who knows, and all that, yeah? But that is what they have created. The type of roguish criminals that you have emotionally given power to, that's what they have created. And you are going to continue to be the victim of the consequences of those actions, I would say. Because I was just, it was 2 days ago, was it? And they said that they were auctioning people's cars, impounded cars. And that actually got the interest of the people all over the world. Like, Hello, what's going on? Traffic offense in Lagos, the mega city. So, traffic offense, they impounded your cars. And sometimes they send you to jail. Okay. And then they sold off the cars in an open, fraudulent way, very questionable way. And many people are saying that's how they feel like they will fix Nigeria. Remember, that was how they said Bukwari was coming to fight corruption. The knee-jerk idea that can only happen in places like slave camps, concentration camps, and in Nigeria. I mean, laws are made, yeah, by men, for men. Not that, not meant for the law. Now, let me explain something to you. Traffic offense is a very, very serious offense. And none of this requires them selling off your property. None at all. Do you get that? In most cases, people have to forfeit their cars. You know why? Because whenever they impound your car until you pay your fine or until it is released. In fact, let me put it this way. In Lagos State, where probably 80% of the people living there are suffering from one mental illness or another. This is due to pressure, depression, and the hard way, even the congestion that they actually have to experience every day of their lives. They are suffering from one mental illness to another. If you are living in Lagos, even they themselves will tell you, if you no get madness, you know if you live here. It's true. So they made laws like mad people too, right? So once you drive against traffic, okay, or you drive into one-way road, yeah, you are automatically going to get arrested, right? You're going to get tried in a mobile court where they have a truck with one Bewudani Agbejoro, Georgie. They put that one inside the van, okay? So they will take you towards him or her, and then they will be like, your charges is this, okay? And you need to go and pay that. Before I left Nigeria, part of their law said you have to go and do mental check if you are caught driving against traffic in order to discourage people from. But that sounds like, well, that's so straightforward. Here is what the law said then. If you are caught driving against traffic or you are parking where you are not supposed to park, you are going to be charged 25,000 naira. If I'm still right, yeah? That was what their law said. Now, you know what they are doing? If you have law to catch road offenders, it's because, primarily, it should be because you care for the safety of the lives of, the safety of the pedestrians, the people that are actually like cyclists, people who are like, walking and other road users. That is why they implement road laws, traffic laws all over the world. Okay? So which means in order to help everyone using the road, you have to give a very clear road markings and signs at very strategic places that are so visible. Do you know that? That's part of the law. In Nigeria, they make the laws not because they want to save the life of anybody, but because they want to make money from it. A corrupt system. So where there are supposed to be one way, yeah, they will remove the sign that says one way. Then they will now put their LASTMA. Are they called LASTMA? LASTMA, Lagos State Traffic Management, I don't know, LASTMA, Abi? So they will now hide in different corners inside shops, waiting for any stray car or vehicle. So when they grab you, then you know what the rest is, Abi? You can't tell them There is no road sign here. There is none here. No, 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 no. You will follow them. Okay? Then that billing will start all over the world. If you are watching me from Lagos, let me tell you something. Okay? All over the world, traffic laws are put together to save the lives of road users, not to make money. Primarily, not to make money. Okay? Therefore, after marking the roads clearly, putting all of the safety shoulders where they are supposed to be on the motorways, ensuring that the motorways are indeed motorways, the roads are motorable themselves, Abi. In some places, to monitor speed, they have to put speed cameras. They don't need anybody to be hiding inside shop to arrest vehicles, no. Because starting from a system that works, starting from when you register as a driver, to the day you actually pick up a vehicle and register that vehicle, there is all connected to one person, the owner of that vehicle. Which means everything that happened to that vehicle, the owner of that vehicle is responsible for it, yeah? So which simply means if you violate any of those traffic laws, let's say, for example, you break speed or you drive on the bus lane, there are already cameras there that are going to capture you. If you drive against the traffic light, there are already traffic cameras that are going to capture your, your plate number. All of this will be taken care of within 24 hours, and within 48 hours, you will receive a letter telling you about what you just did, including a picture of yourself or somebody driving your car around that route at the time that happened. Now, all of that is to make sure that, if you are caught, right, they have all the evidence against you. And you see, in this part of the world, that you break the traffic law is not automatically a jail term. Now, if you break the traffic law and you kill somebody, you will be charged for manslaughter, then be charged for breaking the traffic law. That's a different one, right? But for breaking the traffic law, you can't drive against traffic if you are not mad, yeah, definitely. So if you drive against traffic, automatically, if you break any of this, there are places where you have to lose 3 points, 6 points out of your own driver license. At a point, you probably, if you are living in a place like Lagos, you will end up not being able to drive again. Now, for those who have to drive for a living, for those who have to move about, in their vehicles, automatically, they will know that it's not about paying the fine. Do you get that now? It's not about paying the fine. Oh, 50,000, 100,000, I'll pay. No. Okay? It is about you knowing that what you are doing, if you continue, you are going to endanger lives. And if you continue, you're going to end up in jail. All of that to help everybody know, not to steal money. Okay? Now, let's say they now caught you and they are charging you, for example, in the UK, let's say they are charging you £300 for traffic violation. And you are like, £300, where I go take see the money? They will allow you to go and appeal it. Nobody will take your car. They won't seize your car. What if that is all you have? Nobody needs to take your car. They don't take your car from you. Do you understand? Right. Now, you can go on and say, I want to appeal it. Because the effort is not to make life harder or meaner to you. The government that you put in place, the laws that you set up, they are meant to work for you. That's why they are called man-made laws. And they change time to time. As time changes, then the law changes. But in Nigeria, you are electing criminals, rogues. And some of you love them when they do this, because some of you are not the victims. And that is why you can see it very well. A corrupt system can never bring about a working country or a working society. It doesn't work that way. You know what will happen? If you now go and appeal, you can go to court and say, sir, judge, it is true. I drove against traffic. I was rushing to go and get my, my sick son blah, 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 you know, all of that stuff, or anything you want to use to defend yourself. If the judge is convinced, they will say, whatever points they want to take out of your driver license, they should not take them off, okay? Because if they should take more points from your driver license, you are not going to be able to work again. And if you don't work, how are you going to feed your family? How are you going to pay your rent and your bills? That's a system, okay? A system that will eventually consider your offense and the punishment that is about it, not the one that is going to treat you like you are not human beings. But some of you love that because to you, that's how to make country work. A banana republic, concentration camp that your criminal leaders have created. You know what they did in Lagos? They said that people who drove against their traffic, this is the corruption, who drove against their traffic, they were told to go and pay a certain amount. Because they didn't pay, and the courts has now given them the grant to auction all the cars off. So then drama ensued. Well, for you to understand what I was saying earlier, when it comes to a rotten system where all of the signs to help you, indeed, if they actually care about your safety for putting the laws in place, okay? You drive into a place, and you are like, the sat nav says, turn left, or Google Map, whatever, turn left. You turn left. From nowhere, 4, 5 last man jumped out. Hey, stop there, stop there, stop there. Before you know it, this is one way, this is one way. Where is the sign? Where is the one-way sign? You need to ask people. You should have, it's a crazy place. But they love it. A mad place.
Please come and show me where is the one-way signage. Where is the one-way signage, sir? Where is the one-way signage? Don't show me the officer. Show me the one-way signage that's here. Show me the one-way signage that's here. Where is the one-way signage here? Lagos State. Lagos State, where's the one-way signage here? Where is the one-way signage here? Musari, where's the one-way signage here?
You are supposed to make an inquiry. Post it and let me post you too. You are supposed to
You said there's somebody here? He is here. Did you stop me? Did you stop me? Madam, did you stop me? Are you supposed to hide? Well, you're inside the bus. Are you supposed to hide? Why did you stop me when I want to pass this place as a one way? What's your name? Amosu. You are Amosu, right? That means you're not at your duty post. You are not at your duty post. You're just going from where? At what time? I'm a level 17 officer. At what time? I'm a Kuba Roy. I'm a Kuba Roy.
That is not the issue.
Only one way. Only one way. And also, I'm not here. And you're going to see me.
That is my own point.
Oh, what was it? What was
That is my own point.
One way.
That is my point.
What do you mean?
That is my point. Where I'm standing is my
I'll
point.
I'll post it. I'll post it. I'm going now. I will post it. I will post it.
That is my point.
It's all right. I'll post it.
It's a mad place, isn't it? A completely mad place. Then when your car is caught, there are buyers already. So they take their cars to a place, and I'm going to show you how they are auctioning.